Hey guys, Morgan from Teachable here. If you've been following along, you know that I've been taking you along with me as I create my online course following Teachable's signature 7-step course creation process. And I can't believe we're almost done. We have arrived on content creation now, and I broke this step up into 2 weeks because there's a lot to cover and I wanted to be as thorough as possible. So if you missed last week, that was all about setting up your, studio space so you can have, high quality videos even if you're in a basement like I am. We talked about different equipment you might want to invest in, whether that's a camera or lighting, or if you're just going to stick to your laptop, that's totally fine too. And we also talked about programs you can use on your computer to make your course. So this week we're going to talk about actually executing the course creation, which is very exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking. I know for some people being on camera is not something they're comfortable with, but I do promise you the more you do it, the easier it gets. I also want to remind you about the entire purpose of an online course, and that is to provide a shortcut to an outcome. So what I'm trying to say here is don't fill your course with content that you don't need for the sake of making it longer. I know a lot of people think that's like a really great advertising method if they're like, I've got 10 hours of video like on this topic. So it's very valuable if you're able to get them there in 5 hours as opposed to 10 with the same exact end result. So keep that in mind. Don't feel bad if your course only has like 8 or 9 videos or even less, or if your videos are all only like 7 minutes long, because that's fine as long as you are delivering on what you promised. Your audience is going to be happy and excited to get to that end result even faster. The first thing you're going to want to do is write out step by step everything your audience is going to need to do in order to reach their transformation. And once you've got those steps listed out, you can group them into videos and kind of organize it in a way that makes sense for whatever you're promising your audience. How many videos and how long they are, that's up to you. I would recommend not trying to jam-pack too much into one video. For me, how I'm organizing my course, it's on Instagram themes if you haven't been following along. I'm talking about colors in one module, and there will be a few different videos on how you can use colors to create an Instagram theme. And I'm talking about composition and how different compositions can kind of play together. And there are a few videos under each of those topics. I could have just made 5 videos and like did an entire video on color, an entire video on composition, and that's fine too. You don't want your videos to get too long. I think we say like 10 minutes is like kind of the sweet spot, and any longer people will get distracted. Personally, I prefer videos that are like 6 to 7 minutes, but you've got wiggle room. As long as you're not too long, you'll be good. You should also decide if you want to use scripts for your online course videos. There are pros and cons. The obvious pros are you know exactly what you're going to say. It's right there in front of you. You can download like teleprompter apps on your phone you can load your script into, and it will play right under your camera. So I'm looking at my lens right now, but if I had a teleprompter I'd be looking right here, and there's not too big of a difference. You can see my eyes move a little, but I'm still mostly making eye contact. The teleprompter apps are great because otherwise you might be like looking down, reading a script from here, and that's when it gets a little awkward. You want to be looking at least in the general area of the lens. A big con of having a script is sometimes people might sound a little forced reading it. So instead of just kind of talking naturally off the cuff, they might sound a little bit more like this as they read their scripts. And like that sounds a little uncomfortable, and it may make your audience uncomfortable listening to it. So if you are going to use a script, I do recommend reading through it a few times before you start filming, because if you know what you're going to say, it's going to sound less forced and less like you're reading. Okay, this one, somebody mentioned this in the comments in my last blog post, and I thought I'd address it because I want to help someone out, and it's how to get over camera shyness, and that's such a good question. Like, not to toot my own horn, but you can kind of see just over the past few weeks I've evolved with the camera shyness. I think I used to be very, very nervous on camera, but I do this enough now that it's just kind of habit, and that's my first tip. Just do it. If you hate like the first take it again. I film every introduction to every video like 8 times as I get back into the groove, not 8, but 3 or 4 times, as I get back into the groove of filming for the week. But once you get more comfortable talking to the camera, it's a lot easier and it feels a lot less awkward, because I know the first time I ever sat down and talked to the camera, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm just talking and there's no one actually here, but it gets less awkward, I promise. Another tip is not to look at the viewfinder. I'm filming on a camera that has a viewfinder right here, so I can see myself, I can make sure there's no hair in my face, that I don't have like something weird going on. But once I kind of focus my shot, now I'm looking at myself as I'm talking about it, but once I focus, I know like I'm in frame, I don't have like weird flyaways, then I'll either turn the viewfinder away or I'll just make sure not to look at it. Because I get so distracted looking at myself because I'm like, does my mouth really move like that when I talk? Like, that looks so weird. Don't look at yourself. It's just going to make you nervous. So once you focus your camera, flip the viewfinder, have somebody flip the viewfinder for you if you know that looking at yourself is going to make you more nervous. One thing I do recommend if you're camera shy is definitely opt for that script or that bullet pointed list. Because it's so easy to be so confident and like, I know this topic through and through, I'm an expert, like I know everything there is to know and I'm just going to talk and share my expertise with the world, and then you sit in front of the lens and you freeze. You have no clue what to say. And that's not fun, and then it's just going to get you discouraged and you're going to feel bad and you're not going to want to film anymore. So come in prepared with that script or the bullet list and then you'll feel a little more confident. Now I'm going to insert a few clips of editing and creating videos on both Camtasia and Windows Movie Maker. I am a PC user, so I don't have access to iMovie or ScreenFlow right now, but if you are using those programs, first of all, they're pretty intuitive if you just want to play around and figure it out on your own, but I actually recommend going on YouTube. There's every type of video you could ever want to like learn about for both of those programs on YouTube. Editing video with Windows Movie Maker is actually really simple. All of your tools you're going to need are in your video tools. Just click there, and the main ones you're going to use are split, set start point, and set end point. So for example, let's pretend my video is starting here. You'll hit either the I button, which will select the start point, or you can come up here and click start point and it does the same thing. Now same goes for the end point. You can scroll to the bottom and either hit the O button or just click set end point. Now if you make a mistake in the middle of your video, you can split the clip and delete it. So here we're going to split here, pretend this is my mistake, and then you can select the bad clip and just hit the delete button on your keyboard. And really that's all you need to know about Windows Movie Maker. Of course, if you want, you can do the fun editing things, add visual effects, all of that. I don't recommend going overboard, but they're fun to mess with. And if you don't have Camtasia and you need to do voiceovers, you can record narration right on the screen. You'll just have to adjust the length of the slides, or you can click add music to upload a narration that you've already recorded. So this is what Camtasia looks like, a little more complicated looking, but it's actually really easy to use. The first thing you'll do is go to File, Import, and you're going to import any media you want. I've actually already done that, so we'll just drag my videos down, my video and a slide. So we're going to have them both start at the beginning, increase the length of the slide to be equal to the video, and now as you can see the slide's covering the video, so I'm going to right click and say bring backwards, and then with the video I can drag it down to fit in the lower corner, and we already mapped out an orange square for it, so that's perfect. Enter. And now when we hit play, see you've got me talking in the bottom right hand corner of the slide. Pretty cool. Now if you wanted to do just a voiceover and you didn't want the floating head, it'd be kind of the same idea. You would, let's get rid of the video, you would drag your, if you wanted to use Camtasia to just do a voiceover without the floating head, that one's really cool too, because what you can do is use Camtasia with any program. So you can open your slide program, whether it's PowerPoint or Google Slides, and then hit reopen Camtasia and hit this handy record the screen button. And then if you see down here, that's what I'm using now, the screen recorder will go up and you can record a voiceover on whatever page you're on. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you. You're all awesome. Thank you so much for following along with my course creation process. I hope these videos have been helping you. And the video is the blog post. Check out the blog post, it'll be linked below. Let me know if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can tweet me at HelloMorganTim or at Teachable. I check both pretty regularly. So yeah, just let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!